Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name's Nick, wedding videographer, and also own a video production company doing sort of like promotional videos, bit of corporate stuff as well as the weddings. Earlier in the week, I did release a video talking about meeting wedding clients, what to say, what to go through, in my opinion. And I literally I showed my little book and went through step by step on what I discussed with them. But in today's video, I want to talk about what to put in your wedding contract. So if you see me glancing down, it's because I've got my blank contract here, sort of almost 2 pages long. So I'll just read you through. I won't go through like the exact wordings, but I'll go through sort of the headings and just sort of briefly describe on what's going on. So I always start off with at the top, obviously the title of it, contract for wedding video service. This is an agreement between the couple and Nick Finch with my wedding video package, and the services required as described on my website. So I've got different packages, and I put that in here as well. Sort of what we agreed to film. Then I've got a few details that I need from them. So the date of the wedding, start time, ceremony time, ending time. So obviously when they book me, they definitely know the date of their wedding, and ceremony time. Start time, if I haven't discussed it with them already, because it might be a year or two away, I usually put a couple of hours before before the ceremony time. But then when I meet them at 6 weeks before, I discuss the exact start time there, which is usually like hair and makeup, and end time, first dance. If they haven't got a time for first dance, I always just put 9 p.m. And then just some details from them really, which is bride couple 1, usually the bride, and their address. Partner 2, address if different, never usually is. Email, I asked for email from both and phone from both, but just one will do. But it is handy having the phone number of both, especially on the day, just in case you're trying to get over to groom prep. Then I have name, address and phone number of ceremony, and name and address, phone number of reception. Obviously if they're at the same place, I'll put the same details. Then it goes to amount agreed, and then I've got my booking fee. So I'll just discuss booking fee because there are loads of different options you can go down. So I asked for £100 booking fee to secure their date, and then the remaining balance is due 6 weeks before. I know some people ask for 50% straight away, or might do the £100, then like a couple of months away, 50% is due, and then the remaining a bit closer to the date. Just sort of, I think where I live, I just think the couples, especially when they're booking other things, just secure me with the £100. It's not too bad. They don't usually have to wait for payday or anything like that. As soon as I've got the inquiry, they usually, on the day, they've already booked me and secured the date. And then I've got amount agreed, which I don't have like separate ones for my platinum package, silver package, gold package, because sometimes I offer a little bit of discount, especially if I go to wedding fairs. I usually give 20% off. So I just write the amount. So if it's gold package, I'll write 1200, then in brackets put gold package. Or if I've offered a bit of discount, I'll put the discounted rate, and then again in brackets put gold package at 20% discounted. Then I just got a little statement here that says, so booking fee is due on signing this agreement, and then the balance or the amount agreed is due 6 weeks before the wedding day. And I also put in here that the couple agreed to provide a meal for the videographer or videographers where the length of attendance exceeds 5 hours, which usually I'm usually working a 12-hour day anyway. So I do bring a little packed lunch with me. But then obviously I like to eat when all the guests are eating as well, because that could be 3, 4, 5 p.m. And then when the buffet opens in the night as well, always try and get a cheeky little plate there. So sort of break it down into headings now. So entire agreement. So this is a little statement saying this agreement contains the entire understanding between Nick Finch and the couple. So confirmation, a signed contract for wedding video services, which is the title of this document, now I've amended this bit recently, or reply via email confirming agreement of contract for wedding video services, and payment of the booking fee are necessary to confirm the stated wedding services for Nick Finch. So it gets a bit repetitive, but I have that bit in. So they need to sign it or reply via email to say they're happy with the contract. So then it goes on to pre-wedding consultation, which just states this sometimes happens when they book me or 6 weeks before the wedding. So to be honest, now what usually happens is I'll have a lot of email inquiries come through or Facebook messages, and I just let the couples know sort of like my packages, prices, tell them to check out the websites. They usually book me within a day or two of that with the package they've got in mind, and then 6 weeks before their big day, I'll have a Skype or face-to-face or phone call with them. Now, this is what I like to put in, and this is what I also explain to the couples, is house rules. So basically it just says some venues, because I'll just backtrack slightly. Sometimes couples might see my videos and I've got lovely different angles of the ceremony, which actually last week I did produce a video talking about how to film the ceremony using one camera. But I like to put this in because sometimes you might be in a church and be told, right, you can only stand at the back. So the ceremony video will look a bit boring from the one angle. But if that's the house rules and that's what we've been told, then that's the situation. Let me just see what else is in here. That was fine. Not recently, probably about a year ago now, I put in the limited manufacturer license. So I say we include this license fee for filming in churches and other venues that which allow us to record copyrighted music or sound recordings. So it's about £25 on sometimes known as PRS music licensing. It costs there's different versions. To be honest, I get the £25 one because it says that you can record sound recordings and live music, and then you get to put this then you get to dub it into your wedding video as well, and then they can use that for private use only. That's what the license is. So they still can't upload it to Facebook or anything like that. That's for private use. And again, another sort of recent one is under the heading additional fees. Now, I put this in because sometimes churches, they hear, oh, you're having a videographer. Right, now we require the couple to pay like a fee sometimes it can be like a few £100, and make up some excuse that, because you're filming the choir, they need another fee, which is just complete rubbish. But I don't want that to be, I don't want that to come back to me. My packages I price my packages at sort of the work involved. I don't need to then have an expense of like £400. So that's down to the couple. Which I've never had it, but I have heard stories, and again, they can really put people off. They might book me and then talk to their church and they say, oh, there's another £400. And if they're on a bit of a budget, another £400, that's a lot of money. So I might lose out on, I could lose out on that booking. But that's why I have the booking fee of £100 as well. So I've always got that. So that's additional fees. Next one is copyright law. So I say, so the final video is created by Nick Finch after the personal use by the couple and their friends and relatives. Selling, publication or any commercial use of the video is not allowed without prior written permission to me, or from me, sorry. And so the neighbours having their lawn being mowed right now. So if you can hear that, that's just next door. Which it's a bit of a silly thing to put in, probably not really relevant, but it is there. And then I talk about the final video will have royalty-free songs, which the video can be posted to any social media platform, unless I've had to use the license, the PRS license, and it's for their personal use only. And this is something that I talk on the meeting, and I have discussed that in the video from the other day about meeting the clients. I discuss their final video and say, are you happy with the music I choose from Soundstripe? Do you want your full first dance in there? And stuff like that. So if they say, yeah, we want the full first dance with the music, so I record that live from the band or the DJ, put that in, and then I tell them you can't upload that to social media. But that's usually just for the feature film. All my highlights, I usually just use one song from Soundstripe. So this is a new one now that I probably put in about 6 months ago. Hasn't happened, and I put it under wedding day behaviour because sometimes guests have been drinking all day long, fights break out, especially if you're there with a camera. You might get told don't film it, or film it and then want to use it as then the police or whatever might need to use it as evidence. So I say if any fights are there, I literally don't record any of it and go. I don't need to be caught up in any arguments. And also this includes if I'm being threatened. It goes a little bit extreme, but it hasn't happened. I don't want to scare anyone here, but you know, if people do threaten me, you know, because you are filming guests and people might be like, stop filming me, and you know, first couple of times you might laugh it off, but if someone is really threatening you, again, I leave. And then it's never happened, but depending on what time of day it is, the video wouldn't look very good. You know, you might miss their first dance and everything like that. But it is in there because it does happen. New one as well, privacy policy / GDPC. And then I just talk about how I look after the data, and like how I look after it and what it's used for. So I use it to just contact the couple, and that it's all stored on my computer, which is obviously password protected. And sometimes I do print them off behind me there, but I've got a lock to my office here, so it shows it's locked. We're almost through it now, guys. Additional changes to video. Now, I have done a video on this, which goes into more details. But basically, I say, I hope you love the video, that you agree for me to use my creativity to produce the final video. For any reason you're not happy with it, Nick Finch can make the relevant changes at a day rate of £150, and that the video will be made available via download, because my final video is all on USB, but if they need any changes, I'm not going to give them a nice box that, you know, it cost me a fair bit of money to produce this, to get the nice box. They're not going to get another one. They could just download it straight from like Google and stuff like that. So yeah, that's. But I do say £150 per day. Simple as that. And I have gone into more detail on a previous video for that one. Now, raw footage. I know this can be a bit of a touchy subject for some people. I personally don't mind if they want the raw footage at all. You know, they might be a video editor themselves and want to make another sort of different version of the video. I hope they wouldn't, because they want my services, they've seen my work, they're hiring me to produce them the final video. But and again, it can range how much you think your the cost of the raw footage is. But I say, Nick, if you require the raw footage, Nick Finch will provide this at a cost of £500, and this includes the external hard drive and postage, because obviously all the footage will be on. There's a lot of footage there, so I'll buy it. Can't put it all on USB. It'll be all like on an external hard drive. So I probably got about £50 worth of 50, maybe to 80, including packaging as well, of expenses. So you make 400. You can make 450 quid by giving them the raw footage as well after the video. So it's not a bad way of making extra money. Some people might say, yeah, you can have it for £2,000. They probably don't want to pay £2,000, or some people say not at all. But I don't mind it. I've never had anyone actually ask for the raw footage. But if I did, I would literally go through. I'd literally copy all my folder structure, but just make sure. Sometimes you might hit record accidentally, and there'd be like a split-second clip. I'll probably delete that one, and that sort of thing. Limit of liability. So this is an important one. So if Nick Finch is too ill or becomes injured and cannot supply the wedding service specified above, Nick Finch will try and book a replacement videographer. If a replacement videographer cannot be found, then I do give a refund of any payments received, because obviously I'm not filming their wedding. If you got food poisoning the night before, what are the chances of finding someone to go film their wedding the next day? If you're being sick or something on the toilet, 2 o'clock in the morning before the wedding, it's not going to happen. So if that is the case, then full refund. And that just goes back to the last one so the booking fee, in the event of the couple cancelling their wedding for whatever reason, 6 weeks, so basically it splits into two. So if they've got 6 weeks, basically, like I say, the full amount is due 6 weeks before. If they cancel me in those 6 weeks and I've received the full payment, then I don't give a refund at all. If they cancel me before that, then I keep the booking fee, and I just say it will be considered as liquidation damages to Nick Finch, because I might have driven to the couple's house, spent a bit of money on petrol, that sort of thing. So that covers the cost there. And if there's less than 6 weeks to go, and they paid the full money, I still don't give a refund, because personally it's my business. This pays for the mortgage and all the bills. So if they cancel because they've split up or they've found someone else, they just have to still pay me the full amount. It's just, I've got it in the contract, and it is what it is, according to Love Island in 2019. It's as simple as that. So I then have a little statement saying we understand the contents of this contract and agree for the terms therein, and I get both their signatures and date. And then it says alternative, reply an email that you're happy with the contract and happy to proceed to book, and I've got my bank details at the end. So I now have that last line in about emailing me, because it does get, people used to print it off, sign it, scan it back in, and then email it to me, or post it to me, however they want to get it back. Or if I meet them before the booking, they just sign it on the day. But now I do the sort of e-signature, so they agree, so that's absolutely fine. Most people just come back with the e-signature. So I know I probably waffled on, but they are the sort of things I put into my wedding contract. If I haven't mentioned anything and you have put something in, please let me know. I'm always looking to update it. Hope you learned something. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.